Welcome back for another summer blockbuster. This summer, I'm going behind the scenes to some of the biggest blockbuster movies. If you're new here, welcome. Each week, I create a new look using Color Street nail strips, and this summer, join me and go behind the scenes to see how these movies were made. If you're interested in unique color combos and want to learn some movie magic facts, I would highly recommend that you hit that subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Twister is a 1996 American epic disaster adventure film directed by Jan de Bont from a screenplay by Michael Crichton and Anne-Marie Martin. It was executive produced by Steven Spielberg, Walter Parks, Laurie McDonald, and Gerald R. Molen. It was financially backed by Warner Brothers Pictures and Universal Pictures. In return, Warner Brothers was given the North American distribution rights, while Universal's joint venture distribution company, United International Pictures, obtained international distribution rights. The original concept and 10-page tornado chaser story was presented to Amblin Entertainment in 1992, written by Jeffrey Hilton under the title Catch the Wind. Steven Spielberg was intrigued by the idea and presented the concept to writer Michael Crichton. Crichton and his wife Anne-Marie Martin were paid a reported $2.5 million to write the screenplay, which made Twister the single most expensive screenplay ever written at the time. Spielberg himself was originally attached to direct the project, and directors such as James Cameron and Robert Zemeckis were also in the talks to direct the film, but Jan de Bont signed on to Twister after leaving Godzilla due to creative differences. The film stars Helen Hunt, Bill Paxton, Jamie Gertz, and Cary Elwes, and focuses on a group of storm chasers trying to deploy a tornado surge device during a severe outbreak in Oklahoma. At the time, it seemed like the stuff of Hollywood science fiction, but it actually was based on the work of scientists at the NOAA National Severe Storm Laboratory. In an effort to collect weather data from inside the tornado, the researchers created a totable tornado observation, Toto, named after Dorothy's little dog for the movie The Wizard of Oz. During the 1970s and 80s, several groups from the NSSL and the University of Oklahoma tried to deploy Toto, but never scored a direct hit. Toto was retired in 1987, but not before it inspired screenwriters Michael Crichton and Anne-Marie Martin to develop a story around a similar device named Dorothy. The production was plagued with problems. Joss Whedon was brought in to rewrite through the early spring of 1995. But when Whedon contracted bronchitis, another writer was brought in to work on the script's revisions. Whedon later returned and worked on the revisions right through the start of shooting of May 1995, then left the project after he got married. 2 weeks into production, Jeff Nathanson was flown to the set and worked on the script until principal photography ended. Filming was originally to be taking place in the United Kingdom and California, but the director insisted that filming should be shot on location in Oklahoma. Shooting commenced all over the state. Several scenes included the opening scene where the characters meet each other, as well as the first tornado chase in the Jeep pickup, were filmed in Fairfax and Ralston, Oklahoma. The drive-in scene was filmed in a real drive-in theater, though some of the scenes, such as Melissa's hotel room, were filmed in Stillwater near Oklahoma State University campus. The real town of Rokita served as the hometown of Lois Smith's character Meg in the film, was actually used during filming, and a section of the older part of town was demolished for the scene showing the aftermath of the F4 tornado that devastated the town. Additionally, scenes and B-roll were filmed near Ponce City and Pauls Valley, along with several other small farm towns across the state. However, due to the changing seasons that massively transformed the look of Oklahoma's topography, filming was moved to Iowa. The Twister Hill scene was shot on 130th Street near a small town of Pilot Mound. Some additional footage was shot north of Pilot Mound near the town of Dayton. After primary filming had wrapped, additional pickup shots and reshoots which included the opening scene and additional footage of the drive-in tornado, took place in Bolton, Ontario, and Schaumburg, Ontario. Halfway through filming, both Bill Paxton and Helen Hunt were temporarily blinded by bright electronic lamps used to make the sky behind the two actors look dark and stormy. Paxton remembers that these literally sunburned our eyeballs. I got back to my room, I couldn't see. To solve the problem, a plexiglass filter was placed in front of the beams. The actors took eye drops and wore special glasses for a few days to recuperate. After filming a particularly unsanitary ditch for the tornado scene chase, which Bill and Joe are forced to shelter from an approaching F1 tornado, Hunt and Paxton needed hepatitis shots. During the same sequence, Hunt repeatedly hit her head on a low wooden bridge, so exhausted from the demanding shoot that she stood up so quickly her head struck the beam. During one stunt in which Hunt opened the door of the vehicle speeding through the cornfield, she momentarily let go of the door and it struck her in the head. Some sources claim that she received a concussion in the incident. The director said, "I love Helen to death, but you know she can be a little clumsy." She responded, "Clumsy? The guy burnt our retinas and I'm clumsy?" Some crew members, feeling that the director was out of control, left the production 5 weeks into filming. The camera crew, led by Don Burgess, claimed the director did not know what he wanted until he saw it. He shot one direction with all the equipment behind the view of the camera, and then he wanted to shoot the other direction right away. We had to move everything, and he'd get so angry it was taking so long. And it was always everyone else's fault and not his. The director claimed that he had to schedule at least 3 scenes every day because the weather changed so often, and the camera crew had trouble adjusting to that. When the director knocked over a camera assistant in a fit of rage who missed a cue, Burgess and his crew walked off the set, much to the shock of the cast. They remained in place for more than 1 week until Jack and Green's crew agreed to replace them. 2 days before principal filming ended, Green was injured when a hydraulic house set used in the scene which Bill and Joe rescued Meg and her dog Mose from the tornado-destroyed home in Wakita. It was designed to collapse on cue, but was mistakenly activated with him inside. A rigged ceiling hit him in the head and injured his back, requiring him to be hospitalized. The director then took over his own director of photography for the remaining of the shots. Because overcast skies were not always available, the director had to shoot many of the film's tornado chase scenes with bright sunlight, requiring Industrial Light and Magic to do more than double of the original plan of 150 digital sky replacement shots. Principal filming was originally given the deadline to allow Hunt to return to the 4th season of her NBC sitcom Mad About You. But when shooting ran over schedule, the series creator and actor Paul Reiser agreed to delay the show's production for 2.5 weeks so Twister could finish filming. The tornadoes in the film are not real, but are instead computer animated. The flying cow was perhaps the most famous scene throughout the film. The CGI cow was created with using the same frame wire model from the CGI zebra in the 1990 film Jumanji, another film ILM was involved in. During the hailstorm, after the particularly juicy storm cell on the radar, Balzar says, "That's no moon, it's a space station," which is a reference to Obi-Wan Kenobi's quote from the first Star Wars movie, A New Hope, when they see the Death Star for the first time. Plus, the gasoline truck seen flying around the F5 tornado has the benthic petroleum label bearing the same name of the company from The Abyss, James Cameron's 1989 20th Century Fox film. DeBont claimed that Twister cost close to $70 million, of which $2 to $3 million went to the director. It was speculated that the last-minute reshoots in March and April of 1996 and overtime requirements in the post-production and at ILM raised the budget to $90 million. The film was set to release on May 17th. Warner Brothers eventually made the decision to push forward Twister's release to May 10th in order to avoid audience cannibalization with the release of Paramount's Mission Impossible 2 weekends later. Even though Twister received mixed reviews, many fans had praised the jaw-dropping special effects that brought the storms to life. On Rotten Tomatoes, the film had approval rating of 61% based on 66 reviews and an average rating of 6 out of 10. The film opened on May 10, 1996 and earned $41 million from over 2,000 theaters, making it the #1 film in North America box office. Twister went on to earn a total of over $2 million at the North American box office and a worldwide total of almost $5 million. It became the second highest grossing film of 1996 after Independence Day, and the 10th highest grossing film in history at the time of its release, making it Warner Brothers' most successful film released at the time. As of 2020, Twister ranks at number 76 among the highest grossing North American movies released of all time. It is notable for being the first film to be released on DVD in the United States. This was also one of the first films, along with Independence Day, I saw in theaters with my dad. The film received Academy Award nominations for Best Visual Effects and Best Sound, but lost both to Independence Day and English Patient, respectively. Bill Paxton had a long-lasting impact on the small town where Twister was filmed. Linda Wade, a Waukeeta resident, opened up the Twister Museum after the film released in '96 and said that Bill Paxton continued to donate items to the museum and would show up to local football games. Wade said that Paxton would include a handwritten note with each donation, reminding residents that he still remembered them after all these years. In early 2017, Bill Paxton sadly passed away, and the residents of Waukeeta, Oklahoma weren't the only people to pay tribute to him. Shortly after Paxton's passing, Oklahoma meteorologist Aaron Brackett shared a touching tribute to the Twister star on his Twitter account. On May 4th, 1998, Twister, Ride It Out, opened at Universal Studios Florida. It was an indoor special effects attraction based on the film, located in the New York-themed area of the park. It replaced Ghostbusters Spooktacular. Hosts Bill Paxton and Helen Hunt, stars from the original film, were featured in recorded video footage and audio narration throughout the attraction. Guests experienced a lifelike encounter with a simulated tornado in the main show area, which included water, fire, and movement of objects across the stage, along with audio and visual effects. Declining popularity due to the lack of long-term cultural significance led to the attraction's permanent closure on November 1st, 2015. Race Through New York, starring Jimmy Fallon, opened in its place 2 years later. Thanks for hanging out with me today. This video marks the end of the Summer Blockbuster Series 2021, but I will return with more blockbusters and nail creations next summer. Please continue to tune into my channel for more folklore, legends, and myths, as well as some holiday blockbuster specials. We'll see you for the next one.